All right, let's dive into a case that starts as a straightforward bank robbery. But, as you'll see, it unravels into this shocking conspiracy of murder, kidnapping, and betrayal. What began with one masked man ended with a web of lies so tangled it trapped friends, fiancés, and even family. So, how did one crime lead to so many others? Well, in this explainer, we're going to walk through the entire investigation, clue by clue. You'll see exactly how detectives followed the evidence to untangle this mess, leading to a conclusion that, trust me, no one saw coming. So the case kicks off with just absolute chaos. A masked robber storms a bank in broad daylight, grabs a ton of cash, and in the middle of it all, leaves the bank manager, a guy named Rahul, dead on the floor. It's a violent, high-stakes heist from the very first minute. Right away, a forensic officer on the scene makes a chilling observation. He says the bullet was shot straight through the chest. Now think about that. The robber could have just shot to injure, but he didn't. This was a close-range, fatal shot. That tells investigators this probably wasn't just a robbery gone wrong. It feels more like a cold-blooded execution. And we're not talking about a small amount of money here. The robber got away with 80 lakh rupees. That's a massive sum, and it put incredible pressure on the investigators to find the culprit and to find them fast. With a man dead and millions missing, the clock was seriously ticking. Now, the robber was clearly careful. He covered the entire getaway car to hide its identity. You couldn't see the license plate, the make, the model, nothing. But in his attempt to be so clever, he still left behind a couple of puzzling clues for the Crime Investigation Department, the CID, to follow. And this was the first real puzzle for the team. See, the tire tracks were unique. 3 brand new, 1 old. That was a solid lead. But just 500 meters from the crime scene, somewhere between 2 traffic signals, the car just vanished. It wasn't seen on any of the next cameras. So how does a car just disappear into thin air? But here's where the case takes a wild turn. The investigation into those tires didn't lead the CID to a robber. Nope, it led them to an entirely different and much older crime that was about to blow this whole case wide open. After checking with a bunch of local shops, the team found a mechanic who remembered that really weird sale. He'd sold exactly 3 new tires to a woman, and luckily for them, she paid by credit card. And just like that, the team had their first concrete name in the entire investigation, Mahak. But when investigators show up in Mahak's home to ask her about the car, they get hit with a bombshell. Her parents tell them she hadn't just lent her car to someone. She, along with her car, had been missing for a whole month. She'd been kidnapped. And the kidnapping itself was just bizarre. The kidnappers sent proof of life, they sent her ring with blood on it, but they never actually called to ask for money. A kidnapping with no ransom demand, that is a huge red flag for investigators. It suggests the motive wasn't cash at all, but something else entirely. So, with the kidnapping angle hitting this confusing dead end, a different team decided to do what you always do in these cases, follow the money. And that trail led them away from all the family drama and deep into the city's criminal underworld. And bam, they get their big break. A gambler named Rohan gets caught paying a hotel bill with notes that match the serial numbers from the heist. When they press him, he says he won the cash betting on cricket. Suddenly, the case has a direct link to an illegal gambling operation. So they raid the betting den, and what they find in the records is the most staggering twist yet. The books showed that a massive 5 lakh rupee debt had just been paid off using the stolen money. And the person who owed that debt? It was the murder victim himself, Rahul, the bank manager. Just let that sink in. This discovery leads them to search Rahul's home, and there they find his personal diary. And inside, the entire detailed plan for the bank robbery, right down to the lines the robber was supposed to say. The victim wasn't a victim at all. He was the architect of the whole crime. Well, this changes everything, doesn't it? If Rahul planned the robbery, who was his partner? Who actually pulled the trigger? And how in the world does this all connect back to Mahak's kidnapping? Turns out, the final clues were hiding in plain sight the whole time. So they go back and re-examine that proof of life video of Mahak. And they notice 2 tiny details: the distinct sound of vultures in the background and a specific snack wrapper on the floor. They trace the snack delivery, and it leads them to an abandoned building right next to a butcher shop, which is the perfect place for vultures and a perfect place to stage a fake kidnapping.
Following that trail from the fake kidnapping site, and after a really tense chase where one of their own officers gets captured, the CID finally corners the true culprits. And they are Satish, Mahak's seemingly worried fiancé, and Kanchan, Rahu's grieving sister-in-law.
And in that moment, all the chaotic pieces of this puzzle just fall right into place. The robbery, the murder of Rahul, and the fake kidnapping of Mahak. All three of these crimes were connected directly to these two individuals who had been hiding right under everyone's noses. Their confession laid out the whole shocking truth. It started as a three-person plan, Rahul, Satish, and Kanchan, to rob the bank to fund their shared gambling addiction. But it all spiraled out of control when Satish's fiancé, Mahak, overheard them. To silence her, Satish killed her and then faked her kidnapping. Then, during the heist, Kanchan double-crossed her own brother-in-law Rahul, shooting him dead out of pure greed. Their ultimate goal? To take the full 80 lakh and try to turn it into 8 crore through betting. This case is just a powerful reminder of how hidden addictions and unchecked greed can completely shatter loyalties, turning fiancés and family members into ruthless criminals. It really makes you question, what secrets could the people closest to you be keeping?